Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
Coming up, iPads and printing. When it works, but what are your options?
Plus, Bing's shiny new app, free TV shows, and 100 classic Atari games.
All that and tiny planets made out of your head. Really? On iPad today.
What's not to like?
I don't know.
iPad Today is brought to you by Go to My PC. Attention iPad owners, access your applications and files on your home or office computer from your iPad with Go to My PC from Citrix for your free 30-day trial. Visit gotomypc.com. Promo code TWIT. And by Hover.com. Hover is domain name registration and management that's simple. For Hover's transfer concierge service free for our audience, go to iPadtoday.hover.com. And by Slingbox, which can turn your iPad into a television. With a new iPad app from Slingbox, you can watch your home TV on your iPad anywhere you go. Check it out at slingbox.com. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, iPad Today is on the air, episode 40.
40, we're over the hill.
Or midlife crisis.
Something like that. I'm going to go out and buy a shiny Mustang or something after the show.
Why are you looking at me?
Just seems like a midlife crisis-y thing to do.
Looking at me,
maybe
kid.
a personalized vanity plate.
Yeah, maybe something like I am Sarah.
Something like that. Yeah, that seems midlifey. Happy episode 40, Leo.
You know, I am Sarah backwards is harassing me.
I like that. Harass me.
Harassing me. So today on iPad Today, we're going to revisit a subject we did early on.
That's right.
But it's changed.
Well, it's better. You have more options than you did when the iPad was released last April. And, of course, we're talking about printing because at first everyone was like, if I'm going to replace this with a desktop as a computer, I'm going to need to print. Printing is something that many people have to do on a daily basis. I don't, but I have to do it semi-regularly.
Well, that's the funny thing. When you suggested this the other day, I thought, but I don't really ever try to print or want to print from my iPad. I have the capability because we did a show on it and I have those programs.
Right.
But it just seems like one of the neat things about the iPad, in fact, that's what you're seeing in national assemblies around the world, is you don't have to have a stack of paper. You can get rid of some of the paper.
Well, that's true, but what if, for example, you wanted to decorate your new apartment
Those are beautiful.
with beautiful photos that you were then going to frame and put on your wall? Yeah, these are a couple examples of photos that I printed out straight from my iPad. No software beyond a free app. But before we get to that, the first way that most people understand that the iPad works to print is something called AirPrint.
Well, they made a big deal about this when they put it in the most recent version of iOS.
The problem with AirPrint is that, basically Apple has
sounds good.
some
Look,
sort of agreement with HP.
Here's the ad. Here's the page, right?
Right.
Wireless printing, right from your iPad.
Sounds great.
It's wonderful. Applications, you'll launch a print dialogue,
it's what I've
printing
always
on tap,
wanted.
true wireless printing.
Yes.
What you see is what you print, and it works with AirPrint-enabled printers.
Like
HP,
several
HP,
wireless
HP,
printers from
HP,
HP.
HP. It only works with HP printers.
Only works with HP printers, and not even every model of HP printer.
What's the
has
deal?
to be an airport-enabled printer.
Do you think they made a deal with HP?
I
or
know that.
What else?
I'm sure that they did. I don't think that it's going to be an exclusive partnership. I think that it obviously behooves Apple to be able to use AirPrint with all sorts of manufacturers. HP was just their first partnership. But it doesn't really help you unless you've got one of these printers.
Yeah, and this has been a while now. I'm surprised that others haven't followed suit. So the good news is you're not stuck with AirPrint. You have other choices because companies have come along and solved this problem.
Exactly. In fact, and this is just one of many examples where you can get around the AirPrint limitations. Epson Iprint was exactly how I just showed you these photos.
Because you have an Epson Artisan, as I do at home. I love the Epson.
835.
Yeah, that's a great printer.
Beautiful color printer.
How much does this cost, though?
Well, the printer or the app?
No, the app.
It's free.
Oh.
App is free.
Is it from Epson?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
called Epson Iprint.
So since they couldn't make a deal with Apple,
exactly,
they just said, well, we'll make an app.
Well, it's funny because I was talking to the Epson folks a while back, and they said we've got a great color printer. It works so well, especially with
the
photos
Artisan
that you have on your
I
iPad.
love
And I
the
said,
Artisan.
well, but how? Because you're not AirPrint enabled. And they said, oh, we've got our own app. And I thought to myself, this is going to be a mess.
Right.
It wasn't. The only thing it doesn't do is rotate, but it works just fine.
Kind of strange.
You pick your.
Okay, everybody watching at home, just tilt your head to the side right now.
Tilt your head to the side because,
That'll
or
look
I guess I
normal.
could do this.
No. I thought it was more fun having my head tilted.
Well.
And you see the problem you're having with the Dodo case?
Yeah. Well, this isn't Dodo. This is the freaking smart
Dum-dum.
cover. Smart cover only works in landscape, not portrait.
Isn't that weird?
So you get a picture,
All
you
right.
click print, and it goes ahead and connects to wireless printer. So it's wireless only.
The key about, and I guess that's the whole thing with AirPrint, is it's not. I thought that we were going to print to your Mac, which would have a printer connected to it. But
right.
That's not. That's how some other software
You
works.
can
Not
do
how
that,
Apple's software
but it's sort
works.
of like if you don't have to go through your Mac, why would you use that step? In fact, I took a little video upstairs. I've got the printer sitting on my desk. It's kind of a big brick of a thing, but it does. It's a nice printer, the Epson printer, and yeah, I printed. I set up on our wireless network, the printer on the network. My iPad is just automatically connects to the same network, so it's just printing out this picture here.
And by the way, the Artisan does do really good quality.
It really does.
Yeah, I
was
love it.
really excited. I mean, this particular picture I took in India, and it was kind of smoggy that day, so I don't know if it's the best example of how vibrant the colors are. But I assure you, I've done quite a few of them. You know, you can see these blacks.
I guess my question would be, why would you not just put this on your? You must have had these photos on your computer, so just print them from there.
I actually took both of these. Well, this was a diptych. Obviously, this is for
Yeah,
different
so you did
photos.
that on the iPhone.
So I made a little. Well, I did it on the iPad.
Okay.
With a diptych
With
on the
diptych,
iPad.
all right.
And with diptych, you can just pull from your Flickr account.
Right. Okay,
So I mean,
all right. So you might
no
yeah.
MacBook Pro is used.
All right, got it. It was
in-
never on a computer.
Never on a computer.
Yeah, okay.
You can obviously use the Epson printer via your Mac, but you do
Well-
have to install drivers.
So that's the issue. Is the nice thing about the Artisan and those HPs you saw is they print over Wi-Fi.
Yes.
They're Wi-Fi printers. So what AirPrint really is about is using your internal Wi-Fi network with your iPad to print to Wi-Fi enabled printers. And I don't know why only HP has that built into the software. Maybe they just didn't have enough room in the iOS or something like
I
that.
find it hard to believe that Apple would have just been like, we don't have enough room. How about HP?
So really what this program that you're talking about, this Epson iPrint is a driver,
Yes.
essentially.
It's a driver for your iPad. You do not have to send anything to your Mac. In fact, setting up the Mac was more difficult because I actually had to run a CD to
Right.
install drivers. This is just a free app. It's free.
Cool.
I mean, if you've got the print already, and by the way, I talked about having the Artisan 835, but many other Epson models work for iPrint as well.
What if you don't have an Epson printer?
If you don't have an Epson printer, you have yet more options, but I haven't tested them out yet.
So
I don't
this
know
is
if you
one.
have.
Well, I showed us some on our last episode that were kind of worked, and I don't know. I haven't tried them since AirPrint came out.
This is the iPrint strategy was as seamless as it comes.
Right.
I didn't have any problems, so I was like, wow, pleasantly surprised because wireless printing can just be weird anyway. So this worked out well.
Now I know this company. I know Huda,
You do.
and they're great. So,
Have you heard of ACT Printer?
No, but I know the developer at Huda, and if he wrote a program that does this, it will do it. And this is iPhone as well as iPad.
iPhone as well as iPad, and I have to give credit to Ayaz Akhtar, our newest hire, because he's the one who told me about this. I had no idea that this existed. This is almost the reverse of what we've been describing. If you've got a document, a boarding pass, concert tickets,
that's when
on
you'd want to
your
do this because you're
computer-
traveling and you've got a boarding pass.
Yes.
That's a good example.
Because the barcode can be scanned straight from your iPad face.
It really always drives me crazy when I'm leaving on a trip. I'll check in a day ahead, print out my boarding pass, but I can never do that. I have to go to the business center at the hotel on the
So
way back.
annoying.
So this would be good.
You know what I do is that when you're printing out your boarding pass at home, because I don't even have a printer set up at home because I don't print that often, I just say, yeah, print, and then I'll get an error, and then I reprint at the airport.
Oh, that's
because
clever.
they'll let you do that. They'll let you reprint a boarding pass
but
that
you got to
checked
get
in.
online
But
to
it's
do
a
that.
yeah, it's a hassle. So this is eradicating the need to use a piece of paper to print out your boarding pass or, again, concert ticket, stuff that needs to be scanned, in the will call line kind of thing. So this is, ACT Printer is any document, well, not any document, but many documents. And by the way, it doesn't have to be on your Mac. It could be a PC or Mac, basically, but, a variety of computers. Documents that you want to print, but in electronic form and send to your iPad. That's what you do. So this would be, I don't actually have any documents in here, but the printouts would just be in this little area here. Kind of reminiscent of Goodreader a little bit.
Yes.
Set up similarly. And so if I had my boarding pass here, I would just open it up, go up to the kiosk, and check myself in that way.
I haven't tried this. I will try it, but Pierre Bernard, who is Huda Software, is really good, and I trust him. He writes a lot of iOS stuff. He writes a lot of Mac stuff. He's done some brilliant stuff, so I would not be surprised. I'm sure this is a good program, and IAS likes it, so that's good.
Yeah, and with smartphones, you figure even if you don't have an iPad with you when you're traveling or when you're on the go, but you need something like this, everyone, for the most part, is getting smartphones in their back pocket now.
Some airlines let you put the the QR code on the phone, and it's kind of weird to go to the TSA guy, but they do it. You did it, right?
Yeah,
yeah, and
we
it was
did that
fine.
Coming back from Vegas that
Yeah,
one time.
it wasn't a problem.
CES, at the end of CES. So this is $199. It's at huda.com, and it's
or
a
on
great
the
idea.
Apple iTunes store.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. So those are some printing options.
I'd love to hear from people because everybody. This is a hard one to cover because everybody's doing it differently with different kinds of printers, Wi-Fi printers, printers hooked up to your computer that then your iPad talks to, things like that. So I think I would love if you'd email us and let us know how you solve this.
And we'll gather all of your feedback together, do some testing, and then at some point we will highlight more printing options. But these are definitely a few to keep in mind because printing is not as weird as it was when we first got our iPads and then said, well, printing is too hard, but it's great for all sorts of other things. No, it can be great for printing too. I mean, I just printed this stuff out, and it was really fun, and it worked well with minimal hassle.
I still want to eschew printing.
Yeah.
I think part of the point for me of an iPad is not to have any paper. I read books now on it. I try to go paperless all the way around.
Me too.
But there are times you need a boarding pass.
Especially photos too. Photos are the kind of thing. I mean, I'm not going to put my iPad on the wall and have that be my art. I want to customize it a little bit more.
Those came out great though.
They really did. Yeah, I'm happy with them. I'm gonna frame them and put them up somewhere. Maybe not the picture of me, but if you want the links to the apps that we mentioned, we talked about a lot of stuff just now. Don't worry about it if you didn't write it down. You can visit iPad Today at twit.tv/IPT. That's where you can also subscribe to all of our shows. We're on show 40, so it's not our first show.
You don't have pictures of yourself all over the house?
No.
I do.
I don't have any pictures of myself that don't also have other people in them because that makes me feel weird.
You don't have like a wall with just pictures of you?
Yeah, with like nude. No.
No?
I've thought about it, but I've never pulled the trigger.
No, I have a wall with pictures of you nude all over it.
Well, that makes more sense though because it's not so
I'm just
narcissistic.
No, there are people in this business who shall remain nameless who have what they call an ego wall.
Oh.
It's just them.
What?
Yes.
Not with them and like Obama.
No. Well, sometimes, but it's a lot of them and their awards and all that. It's an ego wall. I do not have an
awards. Okay, pictures just of yourself.
As soon as I get an award, I'm putting it on the wall. This portion of iPad Today, I warn you, this portion of iPad Today brought to you by the good folks at Citrix who do Go to My PC now for the iPad. This is a great idea. Now, Go to My PC is for a Mac or a PC, and it lets you access that Mac or PC from anywhere, including on your iPad. That means if you go right now to gotomypc.com and click the orange Try It Free button, I want you to use our offer code because that way you'll get 30 days free. The offer code for this is TWIT. Gotomypc.com. Put your name, address, and the promo code TWIT, and now you've got this for 30 days. Put it on your Mac, put it on your PC, whatever computer you want to access from the road, from the airport, sometimes just from the pool. Just the ability to check your office email so you don't have a gigantic inbox when you get back from vacation is well worth it. And now on the iPad, that is so cool. GOTOMYPC.com. From Citrix, it's fast, it's easy, it's secure, and it doesn't need any IT help to set up. Try it free. Go to mypc.com, click the Try It Free button, use the promo code TWIT. I've used it for years. I love it, and I know you will too.
It'll save you. When you're not near that PC that's got that file and you didn't upload it anywhere, it's not in an email attachment, you're going to need it. So, Leo.
Hold on just a sec.
What? Do you have a sad little TriCaster?
Something's gone wrong. Something's gone terribly wrong.
Something's up. It's Thursday. You know how Thursdays go. We were thinking of calling this Thirsty Thursday. Because
I'm getting thirsty.
Tom got a shipment of beer in the mail.
This seems to have broken.
What broke?
The TriCaster.
Oh, dear. TriCaster broke?
That kind of, well.
You can only switch that way?
Now I can switch.
Oh,
all
good.
Right. Let's continue on.
So, Leo, I don't know if you've heard the word that iPad 2 sales.
Bird is the word?
The bird is one word.
Yeah.
The other word is money. To Apple.
Yes.
Because iPad 2, since its great reveal in mid-March, has sold somewhere between 2.4 and 2.6 million units.
In fact,
there's people lining up still.
I saw that some of the suppliers are running out. I mean, they just cannot keep up with demand. This is pretty amazing. And you're looking at other companies like Motorola with their Zoom. The BlackBerry Playbook comes out in a couple of weeks, and they just they can't get any traction. The iPad is it.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about this a little bit on Tech News Today recently, and it's like, what's the deal with Zoom? You know, and Tom was quick to point out, listen, analysts didn't say that the Zoom was going to sell much more than this. They're pretty much on target.
Right.
But it does it goes to show that a lot of folks who were saying, iPad can't do Flash. Flash isn't dead. You need something like the Zoom. This is where Android's really going to shine.
Right.
At least right now, it doesn't appear that is such a selling point because nobody, you can't keep an iPad 2 on the shelf. Everyone wants one of those.
Yeah.
I think
Can you go to a store today and buy an iPad 2?
Well,
or do you have to like get it online and?
The folks who ordered online, it's a real sob story depending on who you talk to. Some folks have gotten them. Some don't have them yet. They're delayed in Hong Kong.
Wow, that's
the whole
terrible.
Asia crisis has obviously been affecting shipments for some people, not everybody.
Right.
Just this morning, I think it was in New York, somebody on my Twitter feed posted a picture at 7 a.m. of a crowd outside the Apple store.
Waiting in line,
hoping that there were iPad 2s in stock because there weren't the day before, and they were hoping that a shipment had come in.
We really ought to do a show on Twitter about the iPad if it's going to be this successful.
I don't know. Do you think that's just too much?
All iPad,
too
all the time?
specific?
I love it.
You know, we got a video, speaking of excitement in Apple stores, we got a video from Chris Martin. He's a cameraman, actually, at Channel 7 News in Melbourne, Australia. And he had written us saying he would be happy to cover the launch because, of course, the Australian launch was a couple weeks after ours. I think it was March 25th. Mm-hmm. We weren't able to get a hold of each other that day, but he did send us video from the launch itself. It just kind of goes to show you how crazy it was.
So this is a mall.
Counting down.
Countdown?
This is the dawn of spring.
Oh, look at that. They dropped the drapes.
And everyone's excited and taking pictures. I feel like the Apple employees are the most excited. I think because they're happy that they all got to work at 3 a.m. and
they
showed
one.
up.
They get one.
And they get one, too.
Wow, look at that.
Thanks, Chris.
That is demand. That is amazing.
I know. And that was opening day, of course.
Right.
So I don't know that there's a lot of cheering happening today.
Well, you remember
for
when we
example.
bought ours in Austin at the pop-up store. Every time somebody bought one, all the employees would gather around and applaud and cheer. It was kind of fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
And even I think on the last day, it was like they told people, we have no more whites, we have no more 3G models, we only have the Wi-Fi black 64, or maybe it was even 32, and everyone still in line was like, yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. We'll take it.
We'll take what you got.
Exactly.
They should be happy.
So it just goes to show you, I'm so used to my 3G model because I can take it wherever and I never think about whether I'm connected or not, that I think going just to Wi-Fi only would be difficult for me. But I also have friends who say, but I'm either at home or I'm at work.
The truth is, 90% of the time I'm on Wi-Fi, but you're right. When you have 3G, you don't have to think about,
Right.
oh, I'm not going to be able to use it at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have the 3G, even if you don't use it all the time.
And even there's a cafe near my house
expensive.
that has free Wi-Fi, but their Wi-Fi is really slow, and a lot of people use it at once. I'm better off using 3G if I was to take my iPad there,
Right.
by a long shot. So, Leo,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you've played around with the Bing app at all.
Really? Bing?
Yeah.
Really?
Bing for iPad. No,
Really?
Bing for iPhone was released last year.
I did try that.
Bing for iPad was released today,
Oh, I'm going to get it.
and
Let
it
me see.
is,
What do you think?
it's very visual.
It's Bingy.
It's Bingy. It's pretty, too. What should we search for? What do you want to search for?
Search for circumnavigating the world in a powerboat with Sarah Lane.
Gosh. How about
Something you've searched for.
Cirque du Soleil?
Cirque du Soleil. That's close enough.
I chose that over circumcision, so you
Yes,
can thank me
thank you.
later.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So first of all, that was interesting. So as soon as you type C, it gave you, just like Google does,
Yeah.
those instant choices.
Right. So you've got your links here, but then you also have the video section, and this is where it really gets sort of beautiful because you've got
Ooh, it gives you instructions.
you've got swipe capability. Whoops. You've got swipe capabilities. Hey. Here we go.
You've got swipe capabilities.
That's right. Just like I'm still kind of getting used to this actually. Whoa. Hey.
Apparently so is Microsoft.
Yeah, I know. It's well, here's the thing with search engine apps
Yeah.
is that you in one hand, Bing is trying really hard to differentiate itself from Google. And of course, Bing has also sort of like our algorithm's different. We're not
Right.
going to give you so many junk links up
Right.
at the top, which, by the way, Google
that
has
true?
really started to bother me with that.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
an
don't know-
opportunity
I don't
for
know
the
about you.
Bing Meisters.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can't change it too much, or people don't understand how to search for things. And you know, I know I'm a big dummy, but I'm not the dumbest person in the world.
It is pretty, I have to say.
It is pretty. So I searched for you. So we've got your general links here. We've also got related searches: Tech Guy, Keep Patello, Bill Handel.
Yeah.
That's my search history.
That's my pseudonym, by the way.
If you go through images,
Bill
this
Handel.
is what I looked at
When
earlier.
if you ever need, like I've checked into a hotel and you don't, you ask for Leo Laporte and they say, we don't know anybody named Leo Laporte. Just say, is there a Bill Handel?
Okay,
And
I
then
will.
that'll be me.
So I'm looking through your image search, and
Yeah,
here's
look,
a picture from the Screensavers
look at
days,
that.
which isn't going to look too different than the future.
That does kind of
Twit
look like the
brick.
new set.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Minus all the expensive stuff. There's my nephew.
There's you
That's
somewhere
crazy. That's
doing
me.
something.
That's my daughter.
There's your
Abby.
daughter.
Yeah.
That's
Callie Lewis.
Callie Lewis.
I always get Callie when I search for me. I don't know why.
When the two of you are next to each other, I don't know who's who.
I know. That's probably
yeah,
it.
It's odd. So anyway, this is the Bing app for iPad. What they've done
We look
is
so much alike.
right. What they've done is obviously make really good use of the iPad real estate. It's much more of a visual experience
But
than they're
This
able
is
to
what
achieve on iPhone.
puzzles me about this.
Okay.
Because Google has an app too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why instead of just, when you search, don't you just want to launch your browser and type in a search? Why would you launch a separate application to do a search? Isn't that an extra stupid step?
Well, if you think about the Safari interface on iPad,
It's got the the address bar here, and
Right.
then there's a little search thing there, and you just type the search into there. Isn't that okay? What do you need more than that for? No, I know there are many people who do this. I have a friend, a very good friend. Instead of launching the browser, launches Google, and does it from there. The Google app has a browser in it. I presume this does as well, right? So
Yeah.
if I click a link, it doesn't launch Safari. It just
Right.
launches its own Bing browser, which
Yes,
is
exactly.
Safari.
yeah, Bing doesn't want you to leave Bing.
Branded
Bing wants
Safari.
you to stay with Bing. Stay with Bing. I think that it's really just a personal preference. I know that I use Safari when I have to because it's like my PC experience and I prefer the app experience.
Right.
As long as the apps are good
Right.
on the iPad. So this, for example, Bing, I don't really use Bing that often in general. So this is sort of, it's like maybe I'll use it more. Maybe
a chance to use it.
this app will give me more of a reason to realize why Bing is better than Google, for example. I don't know that it is, but maybe I will after a week using it. In any case, it's out. It's free. It's by Microsoft.
It's got a built-in browser.
And it looks really nice. It looks really nice. The iPhone Bing app,
You know what?
I have no need for because there's not enough
It
screen.
wasn't just you. I was just swiping. It didn't swipe very well.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe they need to work on their swipe a
They
bit.
need to work on the swipe. It doesn't.
It's kind of swiping. You know what? It's a little reminiscent of the Twitter swipe on the Twitter app
Right.
for iPad, where you launch several different layers that open up to the right.
And this is much like the Google app in the sense that it's not just, of course, search. They've got weather. They've got maps. It's all of the Bing features. I like Bing. I'm not against Bing, and I think Google could use some competition. So, I'll put it on here. Why not? What the hey?
I know you're a little lukewarm on Bing, but I know what you won't be lukewarm on.
I am not lukewarm on this, and I'm downloading this right now. Can I?
Yes.
I don't have to buy the box?
No, you don't have to buy anything to download Atari's greatest hits. Woo! So here's the deal.
Okay.
Atari has released 100 classic Atari games, all of your favorite games as a child, into one little app that includes everything. Here's how it works.
Is it $100?
No. It's $15. But you can download the app
So
itself,
cool.
which also won't rotate into landscape mode because it needs to be.
No, because it's a console.
Yeah, it's emulated in an arcade game.
Right.
But this, when you download the app
the
for
app
free,
is free.
App is free, and
and
it
then
comes
the
with
add-on.
Pong. So you get Pong free,
As you should.
as you should.
I
Well,
don't think you should pay for Pong.
I'll
pay
they're,
for.
they're giving you a game for free.
Does it have Joust?
It has everything. It has everything. In fact, it has certain things that you don't even really want, that you don't even remember that Atari made.
Right.
Back
There was
from the 80s.
there was some bad stuff.
There were. I mean, they had a lot of games.
They had
but-
some games that they actually sold so poorly they had to bring them in a dump truck to a landfill and drive a bulldozer back and forth over them so they wouldn't get sold.
Yeah. So if you look at the app itself,
It looks pretty. Asteroids.
Asteroids.
So
all
how many
sorts of
games
other
did you buy?
things. Well, I didn't buy any yet because I am.
So it's
a
$15 if
cheapskate.
you buy all the games.
It's $15
or-
if you buy all the game, or you can buy packs of 4 for 99 cents.
Ah.
So it's really affordable. If you were sort of like, you know what, I don't need these 100 games. That's just way too
Right.
much, and $15 seems a little
I'm so
cheap.
excited about
Don't worry
this.
about it. Yeah, isn't that cool? So if you wanted to go ahead and buy something.
So excited about this.
Well, what did I just buy? Oh, I just bought Asteroids. Okay.
That's worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Does
I
it go,
actually can't show you my can't show you my password right now.
Is it right? Just really like the real
It's
thing?
I mean it's
Go ahead, buy it. I'll hide your
okay, good.
password.
It's similar enough, right?
Yeah, she's typing. Don't look.
Don't look at my
Don't
password.
look.
It's so
Told you not to look.
so hard.
I'm looking.
Well, you can know my password. I mean, it's on your credit card.
Yeah, we're married, so it's okay.
So it's going to take a while to download, but it was that easy. As
Asteroids
you can see,
is 7 megs.
downloaded Asteroids. Yeah, the whole thing is, I think, 64 megs. So, it's not that much, but it.
And I can
builds.
buy. Can I just buy? I just want to buy everything.
Yeah, it's $15. It's $14.99 for the entire set.
3D tic-tac-toe concept. You're right. Oh, these are the. Okay, I get it. I get what these are. This is not the stuff in the arcade. This is what you had on your Atari 4.
Like Commodore 64.
Yeah, you had it on your Atari 2600 or your 5200. Oh, these are all the crap games that came in the cartridges. Oh, they're so bad. Combat.
I know.
Combat 2. Crystal Castles. Oh, wow. Yeah, these are 2600 games. Holy Gravatar. Do they have? You know what I want is Star Raiders. Do they have Star Raiders? Millipede. That was a good game. Of course, when you see these, show the kids because they won't believe how bad these games were.
Well, it's funny. Some of the online reviews of folks who have been like, "Oh my gosh, the Atari
it's
collection."
pure nostalgia.
Everyone says, "Oh my, they're so
bad.
8-bitty and
But that's
pixely."
That's hip now.
But that's being a iPad hipster right
But
there.
if your kids see
Is
these,
playing
it's
Millipede.
actually great for them. You know, if your kid's playing Call of Duty, say, "Hey, you want to go old school?" And they'll say, "I know this because he said, Dad, this is terrible. You played these? Yeah. And we were happy."
Yeah, good stuff.
Fun. Actually, this is a great nostalgia treat.
It is fun.
Thank you
So
for telling
again,
me.
free.
That's two games. Two
free
things.
with Pong.
Wow.
$15 for the whole set, or if you just want to pick and choose, in-app purchases of $1 a piece. So very cool. Good on ya, Atari.
Except there's no Star Raiders.
There isn't?
Super Breakout. Lunar Lander, that was a good one.
What's the
Centipede.
music I'm hearing? You playing music on your iPad?
Yeah, it's coming out of the Atari.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know
I
that.
see. Yeah. Well, it wasn't plugged in, so I wasn't sure. Oh.
It's 8-bit. Don't you wish you were hanging out at the club with me and Sarah?
This is actually the kind of music I listen to, like, today. You know, there's a group called Crystal Castles, and they're my favorite Pandora station.
Really?
Yep.
Is it music like this?
Yes.
Well, now you know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I already knew that.
I'm going to get the game.
So, finally.
Yes.
Oh, another thing, because I
There's more?
Well, sort of. It's in different arena.
Man, this show is jam-packed with good chocolatey taste.
Actually,
Star Raiders is in there,
It's
I'm
actually
told.
carob, Leo.
Carob? Oh, yeah.
Which is, ugh. We're such good dancers. We make Elaine Bennis look good.
Do the thumbs. Okay, enough.
Okay, yeah, this is awful. Last week.
I can't turn it off. Okay, go ahead.
Last week, I was sort of, or maybe it was the week before, I was a little critical of the iTunes Store for putting together collections of apps that ended up not being that good.
Yeah.
Remember, in fact, it was AirPlay. It was the AirPlay
Right.
collection where it's like,
Right.
what are they doing over there
Aren't
at
they
iTunes?
paying attention?
Yeah, it's like you can't just put a bunch of apps into a category and recommend them on the official iTunes
Unless you
App
try
Store.
them first.
Yeah, and you know for a fact that they're good. Well, I want to make sure that everyone knows that the not just the App Store, but iTunes in general can be great for iPad users because they hand out a lot of freebies. For example, there's this new show on AMC called The Killing. I don't know if you watched it.
No, is it good?
Yeah, but the only it was
Must be a comic book, right?
no, it's like almost like a Twin Peaks style murder mystery.
Who killed Rosie Larson?
It's
dead.
kind of R-rated, so this is not.
plastic.
It's not that cool, but it definitely has some similarities for people
I mean,
who like
these are the
that
guys
sort
who
of
do
thing.
Mad Men, AMC, and The Walking Dead.
Well,
so
yeah,
I
AMC I pay attention to now
Yeah,
because they've
they're
got
big
good
now.
shows, Breaking Bad. But
Breaking
I
Bad.
ended up forgetting that The Killing was going to be premiering. I just never thought about it again, and I missed the premiere, and so it's like, well, nah, I don't know what to do, and I'm behind. I don't care anymore. Well,
It's $31.
iTunes Store is offering the first 2 episodes for free.
Oh.
So it's kind of like you could buy the season pass, or you could just watch those 2
Free.
and either decide that you're not into it or decide that you love the show. I love the show. It's
I
not as
think
good as Twin Peaks, but it's pretty
Credit
good.
to AMC probably on this for thinking, and I think this is good. This is really good marketing.
Totally.
If you have a good show,
They hook
you
you.
know, give them the first couple of episodes.
Right.
Usually, I occasionally see 1 episode, but 2, that's good.
2 is good. What I believe they did was this was the 2-hour premiere, even though they're technically 2 different episodes. So they're giving you the first 2 episodes, but it was basically like the pilot for free. So this is the sort of thing I think is really good for if you got to kill some time, you're stuck somewhere, you're waiting for your tires to get changed. I had a tire blowout on me last week, and so I was stuck at the tire shop with nothing to do.
Yeah, you had-
That's where
you had
3G
to-
iPad comes in handy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I could have watched an episode of The Killing. So it's always worth looking through iTunes and just seeing what they're giving you for free because it can help you pass time or find your new favorite show. Cool. So there you have it. Leo?
Sarah, this portion of iPad Today brought to you by Hover.com. I got to tell you, I've been getting this week a lot of email.
You don't even read your email, so how would you know?
I have a bot that synthesizes the themes.
Very color app of you.
Yes. It tells me not
The
what
waveform of
exactly.
the email.
I can see. And there was a trend. Because the CEO of another domain registrar
Oh, I know this
posted
story.
a very, I thought, a terrible, offensive video.
Poor taste is not even the term
Not even the
for what
term.
that was.
And a lot of people sent me a note and said, thank goodness you've told us about Hover.com because I've got somewhere better to
Yes.
go. And you do. Hover, and I've been saying this for a long time, is domain name registration done right. They don't have, I'm sorry, there are no cute girls on the front page beckoning you to see more on the web. All they do is domain name registration, but they do it right. Gosh, dadgummit. Mm-hmm. If you go to ipadtoday.hover.com right now, you can register a domain without all that upsell, without all that frou-frou.
All that TNA.
All that.
It's
yeah.
a domain.
And you won't
Stop
be-
insulting us.
Yeah. And you won't be patronizing somebody who's just, I don't know,
Yeah.
Not so good.
Right.
They do some things. I mean, of course, all domain registrars have to do domain forwarding. So you register saralane.com, it's got to go to your page. So they do that, but they'll also do email forwarding. Now, that's pretty cool, even if you don't have a web page. I think a very good thing for you to have your own personal email address and then forward it to Gmail or whoever you're going to use, because that way you don't, you change ISPs, you don't have to change your email address.
Absolutely.
So my address has been the same for 15 years, and this is how you do it. You can also have a custom URL. They can do email boxes for you as well. And right now at hover.com, free domain name transfers. Normally they charge $25 for this. If you click the link domain transfers, you'll see. But if you go to our special URL,
and it's special,
iPadtoday.hover.com, or use the iPad Today coupon code, they will transfer all your domains for free. The service is for free. Now, they do charge $10 for a domain transfer, but that gives you an additional year.
Oh, cool.
So it's $10. So you finish out your existing domain registration plus an additional year for $10, and there's no service fee. They'll do all the work, and believe me, it's hard sometimes to get your domain name from the old registrar to Hover. You want to let them do it, and they will for free now. Normally $25. That's a good deal. Hover. HOVER.com. If you want to take advantage of our iPad Today deal, it's iPad Today. I'm going to type that in to make sure, because
it's there's a lot of iPad Today going on.
HOVER. I know.
iPadtoday.hover.com with the offer code iPad Today.
If they should ask you for an offer code.
Did you really come through iPad Today? Say yes.
Yeah. If they ask you for an offer code, I think this is right, because it's, welcome iPad Today listeners. That's the giveaway.
Listeners and viewers.
Yeah. See, that's the giveaway that they knew.
They knew.
So if you see that, and then, why does Leo love Hover? Well, I talk about it because I am a big fan.
Yeah. Well, you just also did.
I used it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten the free do all your domain transfers thing. I did it all by myself, which means I got about 3 of them locked. They're still locked because I messed around. It's just
DNS
let them do it.
Can be a real migraine inducer.
Let them do it.
It's
They'll do
true.
it for free for you.
Make it crazy.
If you don't, and remember from now on, when you think, oh, I got to get that domain name, where do you go? iPadtoday.hover.com. HOVER. They're the best.
Thanks,
and
Hover.
They got lots of great things. The customer service number that you see on the site there, if you call that during their business hours, they will never put you on hold. That's a pretty good policy. I like that.
That's more than I can say for some of the
other
companies.
People who don't like elephants.
Yes.
Who shall remain nameless.
And many other companies as well. Customer service is a big pain in the rear. And now that I have a Verizon iPhone, I can't surf while I wait. I don't want to be on hold, people.
Oh, that's a
I
good
want to
point.
get somebody on the phone
That's
immediatamente.
a really good point.
All right. We always talk about how much we love our viewers and our listeners. We really don't care how you consume the show. I tend to think that for an iPad show you'd want to watch, but if you want to listen, that's cool too. We're just happy to have you. One of the nice things that you guys always do for us, in addition to sending us app ideas, show ideas, cool videos from store launches in Australia, is you send us ideas and tips. This tip, I'm going to go ahead and categorize it as a duh tip, even though it wasn't mine. This one's from Matt in Cincinnati, Ohio. He says, when the iPad 2 was announced, along with its smart cover, everybody was quick to point out the relative pointlessness of the microfiber cloth side of the smart cover. This is sort of the
Apple said it would
underbelly.
Clean the screen or something.
Yeah, and he says, yeah, it's true. When used as a cover, Microsoft Fiber doesn't really do much because it's just sitting there. It's not like you're cleaning anything on your iPad. It's just protecting it. However, if you fold the smart cover into its typical triangle, which does expose the soft underbelly, we've talked about this on a show before. So with the red cover, you don't really notice, but with some of the other colors, the inside is a different color than the outside, and so it can be a little bit weird. But if you just detach it, it becomes a cleaner. This is how you clean your screen.
Oh, you're kidding. Was that the intent,
kidding.
do you think?
I think it was, and we're just like, didn't think about that. Because it works awesome. This iPad was full of, let's see if I can put it on a different screen. See? Look at that. I mean, it's clean as a whistle. And it was full of fingerprints when I walked in here today.
I never thought of that.
I never thought about it either.
That's really good.
What are you doing? Derail alert. Derail alert.
I'm sorry. I'm playing Star Raiders. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. You're not the least bit sorry.
Let me put that away. Such a fun game. Oh, I'm so happy.
I know.
Sarah Lane, you made me the happiest boy in this room.
I'm so glad, Leo. Now, you can play with your toys when we're done with the broccoli.
Thanks for the duh tip.
You're welcome.
Matt,
thank
Matt
Matt.
from Cincinnati.
It was Matt's idea.
I never thought of that.
I
Isn't that
didn't
funny?
either. And I think that a lot of folks were like, is the smart cover really all that smart?
How smart is it?
Well, you know what it is? It's a cleaner and
a cover.
it's a cover and a stand. Except that it isn't a portrait mode stand. That really sort of boggles my mind. See how nice that works?
It really works well.
It really works well. We don't need to use...
Do you think it'll get dirty, though, and then I'll have to buy a new smart cover?
I mean, the inside will get dirty because you're wiping off your own fingerprints and dust and things like that.
I can't believe
think you
how well
kind of
this
have to
works.
just...
Now, don't do it with the hinge side because you'll scrape the...
You want the unhinged side. Go unhinged.
That's easy
with
for
this
me.
with this exercise, please. So thanks to Matt from Cincinnati, Ohio. We also have an idea. Paul from Ireland has an idea, and now you tell me if this is something that can be possible, because I don't think it can be. He says, I've been looking for a particular app for ages. I can't seem to find it. Imagine the situation.
Okay.
Picture it. Sitting on the train on an evening on the way home, watching iPad Today, headphones are on, enjoying catching up on the week's events. Suddenly, iPhone in pocket rings. Cue, scramble to pause the video on the iPad, whip off the headphones, whip out iPhone, try to answer it before it diverts to voicemail. Wouldn't it be great to be watching the iPad and a little button appears on the iPad saying answer or reject the phone call via Bluetooth? And if you accept it, it routes your call through the iPad into the headphones that you're already wearing.
Wow.
Paul says, I'm not a developer, but if this existed, I'd pay for it.
That's a great idea.
I don't think it exists.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't, and I'll tell you why. You'd have to have, the iPad would have to come with a Bluetooth profile for a headset. So you can use the Bluetooth on the iPad to listen through a Bluetooth headset or Bluetooth headphones, but it would have to have the other side of the profile, the side of the profile that would turn this into a Bluetooth headset, the iPad into a Bluetooth headset. And I'm sure Apple didn't put that profile on there, and that's who'd have to do it. The manufacturer would have to do that. So I think it's probably the case that it's just a one-way street. But what a good idea.
I agree.
I'll tell you the other reason they... Well, I was thinking maybe they wouldn't do it because they don't want to turn the iPad into a phone, because effectively you could also then use it as a phone.
Well, but you'd still
have to
need
have-
the phone. You're not...
Well, but you wouldn't have to have an iPhone. If they put the Bluetooth... Now, I guess they could, do something and mess around with a Bluetooth headset profile. But nominally, the Bluetooth headset profile works with any phone that supports Bluetooth.
But they could build some Bluetooth capability into iOS where you wouldn't be able to use a phone that wasn't an iPhone.
Maybe they could make it hardware specific.
That would be cool.
They might
I
be
would love
courting
that.
antitrust at that point. But what you're saying is essentially turn this into a Bluetooth headset.
Exactly.
And I think that's a great idea.
I
I'd
do
love
too.
that too.
And that I have come into these problems not that often, but I know what
I don't think enough
Paul
people
is saying.
demand that the Apple would do that.
No, it's just not worth it.
You know what, Paul?
You know what? If you are one of the many hundreds, dozens like Paul who want
Email
this capability.
Steve, sjobs@apple.com.
Yes, and say, we heard it on iPad today, and we want you to add this to iOS 4.3.1. Is that what's coming out
Don't
in a
mention
couple
me,
weeks?
that's all. Just don't.
Just no Leo?
Well, Steve.
Sarah said...
You could say Sarah. I'm sure he doesn't hate you.
I don't think he knows I exist.
He knows I exist.
I'm going to go ahead and... You've met him. You've hung out with him. You played volleyball with him once. I heard that story.
I did. He beat the pants off me. Actually, no, I was on his team. I think truthfully, people think that Steve doesn't like me because of some things that might or might not have happened last year.
It's because of the volleyball game, isn't it?
It's because I was on his team on the volleyball game 15 years ago, and we lost, and he was kind of mad.
Imagine
he
that.
blamed me.
Imagine Steve Jobs being a poor sport.
He said,
I can't imagine it.
These were his words. You're on my list, Laporte.
And you have been ever since.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't
Do you
know.
think that one conference that you went to where you live streamed it was like your one chance to get off the list, and then you quickly went back on it again? Lifetime list?
I actually mentioned this on Mac Break Weekly when it happened. I was sitting there in the audience, live streaming the iPad announcement with my laptop, and Steve looked right at me, and he mouthed the words, "You're on my list, Laporte."
You lie.
And I think that might have been, you're right. I think that was it.
That's like some sort of a Seinfeld episode, you know? He said I'm on the list. I'm on the list.
Leo!
Oh, hello, Leo.
Hello, Leo.
Hello, Laporte.
I'm waiting because Becky, in the demo room, when they announced, I think it was the iPhone 4, she had an iPhone and ambushed Steve with FaceTime and got an interview with him. And I keep waiting.
She got an answer from him. She got a good to see you.
She got an answer. That's an interview.
That's
one
true.
question, one answer maketh an interview.
Right.
And but she's not been banned, so.
There you go.
Of course, she represents a rather large news organization.
So do we.
We're the first 3 letters of the alphabet. We're kind of towards the end of the alphabet.
Well, we're, highbrow, right? We're for people who are farther along in their alphabet studies or something like that. We want to hear from you guys. Obviously, we love to feature your ideas, your suggestions, your apps, anything, questions, all that. Everything's fair game. Write us at iPadtoday@twit.tv. Leave us a voicemail, 757-504-iPad or 4723. Or for extra points, send us a video. We love to see you and all the stuff that you do. And a reminder that you can watch the show live. If you're watching live now, you know when we record live. But if you're not and you're interested in me strangling Leo for playing arcade games, which I'm about to do.
No, I'm watching Wolf Blitzer.
Oh.
It's a situation room.
Oh, you can go to twit.tv/IPT. Now, hold on a second. I'm a little bit confused. How are you watching Wolf Blitzer right now via your iPad?
On my iPad.
But how?
You can't do that?
I don't think so.
Oh, you know why?
This must be some CNN app, right?
This is my Slingbox.
Oh, my gosh. It's as if you've brought your living room to us.
It is. I brought and look how good the quality picture is on that, I have to say. This is, and by the way, I'll pull up the guide. Because I got the Dish Network. I can see the DVR listings as well. Everything on your DVR, anything on your satellite box. Here's what you do. You go to Best Buy, and you pick up a Slingbox. Mm-hmm. Oh, now that makes me mad.
What?
Sling Player has been disconnected because another authorized user has connected to this Slingbox. Gosh darn it. Jennifer, I'm trying to do a show here.
Jennifer, you're on his list.
You're on my list, Newman. Never share your Slingbox.
With a loved one.
She probably
with your wife.
She wanted to watch Oprah or something. So the deal is, okay, so there's one little caveat. Only one of you at a time can watch your home theater system. Here's what you do. You go to Best Buy or Amazon and you get your Slingbox. You hook it up to the TV system. It's so cool. You plug it in to your DVR, your Blu-ray player, whatever you got, your satellite dish. That's what I've got on here. You plug it into your cable box, anything. And then the other end, you plug into the internet. Now, as you go around, you can watch your home theater system, no additional fees or anything, anywhere you go, on your Mac, on your PC. You could do it on an iPod Touch with Wi-Fi, on an iPhone. Android has a great app. And yes, you can even do it, if Jennifer's not watching, on your Sling Player mobile app on your iPad. And
you can watch Wolf Blitzer during iPad Today.
Well, I could get in a little war.
I was going to say you could watch Glenn Beck at the ballpark, but he's not on Fox anymore.
Another authorized user is viewing the Slingbox. Do you want to disconnect this user?
Do it.
All right.
Press the red button.
You can get into a war.
You're so not getting dinner tonight. You're going to sit out on the porch.
And now back to Wolf Blitzer. So anyway, I have to say, the quality of the picture is great. If you're into sports, for instance, you never have to miss the game. If you're at the ballpark, you can watch the game on your iPad. It just is awesome. Highly recommended. Slingbox. Go to slingbox.com to find out more. This great iPad app just came out, but it's on all your portable devices, and it's just so cool.
The iPad it's a slam dunk for Sling.
Oh yeah, and look, I've got all my DVRs in here, so I've got tons of stuff I can watch.
You record a lot of stuff, don't you?
You never know when you want to see the Foo Fighters live from Wembley Stadium. So this is the other thing, is because you're DVRing you can access your DVR. You can even set recordings. You can watch your stuff later, and so you may have the hotel television set. Oh crap!
What?
I guess I forgot to pay the bill.
Oh, Leo. What are we going to do with you?
Not the Slingbox bill, by the way. There's no bill for Slingbox, but you do have to pay for your dish.
Well, I think
that recording didn't come out. I don't know why.
That's the funny thing about the Slingbox. People say, okay, so it's something where it's like you save shows that you can watch later. No, you're actually
my TV system at home.
You are in your living room, except that you're not.
Yeah,
you are teleporting into your living room.
So cool.
Teleporting.
Slingbox.com/twit. Sorry, Jennifer.
All right, should we move on to our App Cap Awards, Leo? I decided to wear...
Oh, that's the Uruguayan motorcycle helmet.
Wow, we've really been on a South American kick lately, haven't we?
That's where I was. I went down South America way.
Is this like, am I kind of like a Che Guevara kind of a thing going on here?
Yeah, Motorcycle Diaries.
Yeah, okay.
Now, see, there's hats over there I want. I guess I'll have to go back here.
Leo, just put a hat on. Which hat do you want?
Well, there's the Rasta hat, or there's the red Homburg. That's pretty good too. All right,
we're gonna go.
Watch Sarah, and I'm gonna put on my hat.
Okay. My app cap is amazingly weird.
Okay.
I first discovered it because someone I follow on Instagram kept uploading these really weird circular type photos. And he's kind of like this artsy person. So half the time I have no idea how he's getting the effects that he's getting. But finally someone said, what did you do? Because he gets a lot of likes. He's popular. What did you do? How did you make this? And he said, I'm using something called Tiny Planet. So I immediately looked it up.
I gotta get this.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it. but please.
What are you laughing at?
You're so Howard Stern in a weird Rasta way. I don't know what to make of this. This is scary. It's weird. All of a sudden, your eyebrows look too light. It's freaking me out a little bit.
How are you, Jen? How are you doing, Sarah Lane? Yeah.
Naughty dread man.
Okay, man.
All right, so back to Tiny Planet.
Tiny Planet.
I went ahead and downloaded it. It's free, by the way. So
it's funny that I do the same thing with Instagram. I'll see somebody does some really cool effect. I say, how did they do that?
Sometimes people don't like to give up their sources.
They don't want to tell, but somebody will always tell in the comments. They'll always say, I know.
I know. Well, this guy actually was like, I'm using Tiny Planet. I really like it. Now, this app is it's designed for iPhone, but it works perfectly well on iPad, especially since the iPad now has a camera.
Right.
So I want to recommend photo apps more and more. Looks a little janky, and again, doesn't rotate
your head
very
on the
well.
side.
So you do this. And it also will run a Citrix ad. So that's
good. We don't mind that.
Not the worst thing in the world, but there is an ad. So let's say I want to choose a photo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I've got a bunch of pictures in here. Let's choose this photo.
This is from your camera roll.
Yes. So I can either take a photo from within the app, or I can choose a photo that was already in my camera roll. This is a picture of me on a volcano in Bali from years ago.
I love this
picture. Cute picture.
That's one of the ones I have on the wall, the Eagle wall.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you have that one. That's nice. So I've got two choices now.
You don't mind that I rummaged through your hard drive when you weren't around?
Certainly not.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing that I have to hide. Everyone knows it already.
Except that hat.
Right.
You might want to hide that.
You don't like the hat?
No, I love it. I bought it.
It's very good.
I bought it in Uruguay.
It's a little hot for
spring.
No,
it's meant for cold weather and motorcycling.
Right. Well, good thing we had the AC on then.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this picture, I can either Tiny Planet it or I can Tiny Tube it. So let's go ahead and Tiny Planet it. Now it's going to process. Takes a few seconds.
Yeah.
What's it going to look like?
No one knows.
It's going to look like that.
Oh, wow.
I made myself a sphere.
Well, that's actually really interesting.
Isn't that the weirdest thing you ever saw in your life?
Wait a minute, that's your head there?
Yeah. And look at my little legs sitting on my little tiny planet. I'm basically
a super cool effect.
I'm at the tip of the North Pole of my picture.
You just happen to know. I guess there's certain pictures that look better because you were off on the edge.
I was off on the edge, yeah. In fact, if you do Tiny Tube with this picture, it's extremely unflattering because it's the opposite. Turns you into a tube rather than a sphere.
One does not want to be a tube.
See, look at my derriere. Not flattering.
It's
just a bad angle for me.
It looks like you have a tiny pinhead.
But let's say that I wanted to do something, like one of Trey Ratcliffe's
I am loving this.
Cool photos here. So this is like, there's nobody in it. It's just a lot of colors.
Now, does that
Let's
work?
Go ahead and Tiny Planet. Well, you're going to see. You're going to see.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
So you kind of have to know.
It's very trial and error.
Yeah.
There were certain pictures I took of people's faces where it didn't even really turn into anything. It was just kind of like,
Big nose
it's just a mess. but certain pictures it ends up working well with. So that's the tube version. Look at how pretty that is.
Ooh, that's like that's really neat.
Isn't that awesome?
I want that.
So that picture becomes the inside of a tube. Yeah, it's great. This is Tiny Planet Photos is how you search for it in the App Store. It's free, and it's by a company called Infodene. And I love it. And thanks to John Armstrong. He's the person I follow in Instagram that told me about this.
It's funny that you should have mention Instagram, because I have an Instagram app as well.
Do you, Leo?
Instagram is, very hip right now. A lot of people use it. It's basically kind of Twitter for photos. It's a photo sharing app. You follow people, they follow you.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because, I'll tell you what, I'll launch it here. Unfortunately, Instagram never made an iPad version of Instagram. They also don't have a web interface, so there's no way to really browse Instagram. You just have to. I follow people, so I'll see their pictures. I mean, they're great pictures. I love it. And then you can always look at the popular page and get some of those pictures too. But it's not. I don't know. It's not really designed for kind of browsing through the pictures. It's not like Flickr or something.
It's good for the news feed, but not really so good for discovery. It's also, it's very much set up as mobile. It's a mobile interface, so it looks nice on the iPad, but it's not perfect.
And we've talked to Kevin and company, and they say yes, we're going to work on a web interface and so forth. But the good news is they did do an API, and this is a $1.99 application, iPhone or iPad, called Instagallery. That just gives you a little bit nicer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, point of view.
Much.
So I'm loading my feed now, but I'll show you. It doesn't have to be your feed. Remember the same picture, but now I can see it a little bit bigger. I can scroll through it this way, horizontal. The comments are kind of separated out, but you can tap the comments and read them here and so forth. You can add a comment. So it has the functionality. In fact, I'm kind of surprised the Instagram people kind of allowed this, because it has the functionality of Instagram.
It's also
with one exception.
What's that?
You can't take a picture with it.
And that's probably
weird.
because Instagallery was created before iPad 2 was released.
Well, the iPhone version, same problem. I think it's maybe Instagram doesn't want them to do that.
Because then why would you use Instagram?
Right. This is like a better Instagram.
Completely. This is also
it's doing a slideshow, which I love.
The pictures are optimized for the iPad, and that's something that the Instagram app doesn't do. No. You can blow up the iPhone interface, but you lose a little.
Right. So that's my feed. Here's the popular feed. And again, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a little slideshow button. If I press the slideshow button, you could just put this on your desktop and look at it as a little slideshow of popular stuff. Here's the text that the photographer put on the bottom, a little bit of it.
I think that this is a less overwhelming way to look at the popular page too, because when you load it up through Instagram itself, you're looking at about 30 thumbnails, and they all look good, and I usually just click right on out of there.
There's a user search here, tag search as well, which I really like. You can change the slideshow duration. You can change the background. You can have a light background or a dark background.
Nice.
I think this is, it's $1.99. Instagram is free, but if you're a real Instagram aficionado, as obviously I am, I think it's kind of cool to have an iPad version of Instagram.
Welcome back to Instagram, by the way. Remember when you were like, I'm not going to use Instagram. I'm on to Pick Please.
I still do both. Pick Please. I'll tell you, if Instagram did an Android version, I'd be back. For sure.
And I don't have any inside information, but I'm almost positive that Android app is going to come out before an iPad app.
They said they were doing an Android app.
Oh, they're working on it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when it'll be released. But I believe that that's their priority number one above everything else.
I like Pick Please. Part of the reason I'm not crazy about Instagram is it's a little kind of insidery and clubby.
Yeah.
But
it's clubby.
It's clubby. But I do love the pictures, and especially the ones I take.
Yes, they're very good.
That's a little blurry.
They're very blurry, but that's what
That's my dog.
Hi, Ozzy.
He's looking right at you.
You're just gonna fly away without mirrors.
See, do you like this? Also, by the way, I can make it dark and get rid of the background.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's my son.
Your son. He's very.
That's his new album cover.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
He should sell that photo to a 5-Hour Energy. So Leo.
Well, you recognize that right away. You must. Oh wait a minute. Here's.
Well, they're in front of a 5-Hour. Oh, nice.
You like that one?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Is that real? I don't want to know, actually.
The cigarette?
Yeah.
You know I've been a smoker for years.
You have not.
Just for a few months.
Really?
I thought, hey, I'm going to die someday anyway. I might as well.
Wait a second. Hold. Really?
No.
Okay. Like,
Fooled you, though.
Well,
Fooled
because
you. Didn't it look so natural? Didn't I look like a tough guy?
Kind of. Yeah. You look like a wise guy.
Yeah.
You're a good fella.
I am.
Yeah. Good.
I'm a made man.
Racketeering. It's
When I go
it's
down
for everybody.
wearing this hat, down to the Pork Store Cafe, people respect me.
I certainly do.
Yeah.
Leo, episode 40 has been a real treat.
It has, actually.
It really has.
Quite enjoyed it, Sarah Lane.
It was an enjoyable show.
When you first said, let's talk about printing, I thought, I hope I can stay awake. But it's been great.
It has been great. Printing, feedback from our viewers,
Have I done all the commercials?
photo apps.
Yes, I
Yes,
have.
we've done all the commercials.
So
Now,
I guess there's nothing more to do than say thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
that's right. On iPad today.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Woo! Rastaman, vibration air. Do
Did
what you
not
want to
kill
do.
a deputy.
I shot the sheriff.
One love.
One love.
Let's get
Together
together.
and be
Three little birds.
all right.
Steer it up.
Little darling.